This is Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are. We appreciate it. And it is Monday, which means it's time for another edition of Awesome Tech You Can't Buy Yet, where Drew Prindle joins us to talk about some of the crowdfunding campaigns that he thinks you need to know about. Drew, hello. Number one. Number two, which one do you want to talk about here first?
All right, let's talk about the FunKey S. It is a keychain-sized retro gaming console. So it pretty much looks like like a Game Boy, one of those old Game Boy Colors or whatever, but shrunken down to the absolute smallest possible size that it could be. This thing is seriously like 3.5 centimeters tall and like 1.5 centimeters thick. When you unfold it, it's about 7 centimeters tall. It is tiny, but despite that ridiculously compact size, it can play games not only from like Game Boy games, it can also play NES games, SNES games,
What?
Sega games. Like
That's
it
crazy.
basically runs a bunch of different emulators on it. So you have access to this huge library of retro games and it just fits in your pocket. So while it's probably not the most comfortable thing to play on, just the fact that you're always going to have it in there, like always in your pocket, always on your keychain, it'll be there whenever you get bored.
I am definitely interested in this, although for me, like, my thumbs are way too big. It would never work for me. Like, this is just not something I'm going to be able to play, no matter what. But the idea is still cool, and I'm taking a look here. Like you said, it's got all of those different emulators, all those other games, the size of a keychain. How much is this thing? What are they charging for this?
Looks like hold on, let me pull up the campaign page here.
Oh, okay, about $70. It looks like. $70 gets
That's
you
not
the
too bad.
FunKey S. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. And a 16 gig SD card coming November 2020. So yeah, that's not. I could see people just being like, especially right now, being like, yeah, sure, I want that. Yeah, they got funded in 3 hours, so I guess people did want it.
Yeah.
All right, going from that, we've got the FunKey S for Awesome Tech You Can't Buy Yet. What's the next one you want to do?
All right, let's talk about this lawnmower. It's this thing called Toadi, and it is an AI-powered robotic lawnmower. So robotic lawnmowers, as you may know, have been around for quite some time. They're definitely not a new idea, but the problem with them is that they're not exactly like a Roomba for your grass. Like the thing is, in order to have a robotic lawnmower, you have to set up like this perimeter fence, which is basically just a series of stakes and wires that you put around your lawn, and that's what lets the robot know that's where you stop, don't go outside of this. And they're just generally pretty like primitive robots. So this is kind of an evolution of that. Instead of guide wires, this thing actually uses computer vision and AI algorithms and stuff to see what's in front of it, so it can tell visually where the grass ends and where it begins, and can also drive around obstacles. So let's say your kids are playing in the grass and one of them kicks a soccer ball into the way, the lawnmower will stop. It can actually recognize, hey, I'm not supposed to run into that thing. I should probably turn around.
I mean, that's good. That's a good aspect of it. So it's not running over your feet or your child or anything. I do like the idea of this a lot. The fact that it would actually maintain itself. It is not cheap. It looks like.
No, it is not. Which is going to be, I think that's the thing. You're paying for the luxury of not having to set up that perimeter fence, which, as somebody who has done that before, I can tell you it is a massive pain in the ass. It takes an entire afternoon. It's very difficult. It's also very difficult to remove if you ever have to like leave the place that you're living in and, uproot it and go to it somewhere else. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. So you're paying for the luxury of not having to do that. And also, I imagine there's just so much more software and tech baked into this thing than the average robotic lawnmower. So that's probably why it's 2.5 grand.
Well, that is the Toadi autonomous lawn robot powered by AI. And our last one here, let's talk about this, the Somni Mask. What is this?
Yeah, so this is a mask that you can wear at night, and it will supposedly help you induce lucid dreams. So that's, if you're not familiar with lucid dreams are when you are aware that you're dreaming and can, in some instances, actually control what's going on in your dreams, a lot like Inception. So these masks kind of like lawnmowers. They've existed before in various forms, but this one's a little bit more advanced than the ones we've seen in the past. So the problem with currently available lucid dreaming masks is they don't actually know when you're in like deep sleep, which is when your dreams are most vivid and when you're most likely to not be woken up by the mask itself. The way they work is when you're in a dream state, they'll pump sound into your ears, like a trigger noise, so that you hear like a ding and you're like, oh, that's the ding that means that I'm dreaming.
What?
Or they'll flash a light pattern in front of your eyes or something like that. The problem is if those happen when you're not in a deep sleep state, it'll often just wake you up. So what this mask does to kind of mitigate that is it actually has a sensor and it tracks your eyes. It looks for the rapid eye movements that happen when you're in deep sleep and are really dreaming. And when those start, that's when it gives the sound cue. So it only really kicks in when you are for sure dreaming heavily, which is something that masks in the past have not done at all.
I mean, I'm sure this is all done for good, positive reasons, and they line them all up there, but it's been a while since I've said something like this, and I can't help it. This does seem like a Black Mirror episode where somebody's going to hack this and then put sounds in everybody's ears and control everything. Yeah, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do it.
I have tried one of these masks out before, and I mean, it's weird. But lucid dreaming is really fun. I encourage everybody to get into it. And while I think this mask is definitely a move in the right direction, I am a little bit worried about the fact that it's got this big, like, clunky box on your eye with the sensors and stuff, because most people don't just sleep on their backs. So, like, some people roll over, you're sleeping on the side of your face. That's going to be really, really uncomfortable to wear. So hopefully they figure out a way to, like, slim that down. And if they can do that, I think this will be great. There's no dark future in store for us. I think you might be being a little bit paranoid.
Yeah, 100% I'm being too paranoid. All right, that's the Somni Mask. So right there, the final one here for awesome tech you can't buy yet. And it's already funded too, so 3 times over with 25 days to go. So definitely people are interested in that right now. Well, Drew, as always, thank you so much. Awesome tech you can't buy yet. Check out everything there at digitaltrends.com. And Drew, I'll talk to you soon.
Later.